Have you ever stopped to think that those supplements you take daily to improve your health may actually be sabotaging your weight loss efforts? That's right. There are two specific vitamins that, when consumed in excess, not only damage your legs, causing pain, weakness, and even difficulty walking, but also completely block your metabolism, preventing weight loss. The scariest part is that you are probably consuming these vitamins every day without knowing the risks. Stay until the end, because I will reveal exactly which vitamins these are, how they affect your body, and most importantly, what you can do to avoid these devastating effects and finally unlock your weight loss. Let's start by talking about the first vitamin that may be sabotaging your weight loss efforts without you realizing it. Vitamin A. You've probably already heard about how vitamin A is essential for eye, skin, and immune health. And that's true. In adequate amounts, vitamin A plays vital roles in our body. However, what many people don't know is that too much of this vitamin can become a real nightmare for anyone trying to lose weight. Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it is stored in the body's fat tissue and is not easily eliminated. When you consume more vitamin A than your body needs, whether through supplements or even from foods very rich in this vitamin, such as liver and other organs, the excess begins to accumulate in your system, and that's when the problems start. One of the first signs of excess vitamin A is muscle pain, especially in the legs. Have you ever woken up with that heavy feeling in your legs, as if you had run a marathon the day before, even without having exercised, or felt muscle weakness when climbing stairs, something you would normally do without effort? These may be signs that vitamin A levels are too high in your body. Recent studies have shown that excess vitamin A interferes with normal muscle function, causing anything from mild discomfort to intense pain that can limit your movements. And as we know, any limitation in your ability to move means less physical activity, fewer calories burned, and consequently, more difficulty losing weight. But the problem doesn't stop there. Excess vitamin A also directly affects your bone metabolism. When present in large amounts in the body, vitamin A begins to compete with vitamin D for the same receptor in cells, impairing calcium absorption by the bones. This leads to a process of bone demineralization, making your bones weaker and more prone to fractures. And guess where this problem manifests most intensely? Exactly in your legs, which bear most of your body weight. Bone demineralization can cause persistent pain, especially in the knees and ankles, and in more severe cases, it can even lead to microfractures that go unnoticed but cause chronic pain. Now you may be asking yourself, but how does this affect my weight loss? The answer lies in the vicious cycle that forms. When your legs are sore and weak, you naturally move less. Your body, as a protective mechanism, begins to conserve energy, reducing your basal caloric expenditure. In addition, with less movement, your muscles are less stimulated, which decreases your muscle mass over time. And less muscle mass means a slower metabolism. As if that weren't enough, constant pain increases cortisol levels, the stress hormone, in your body. Elevated cortisol not only increases appetite, especially for foods rich in sugar and fat, but also promotes fat accumulation in the abdominal region. It's a perfect storm that completely blocks your weight loss. If this content is making sense to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to receive more valuable information like this that can transform your weight loss journey. Another rarely discussed aspect is how excess vitamin A affects your liver. The liver is the main organ responsible for processing fats in our body. When overloaded with high levels of vitamin A, the liver becomes compromised, functioning below its best. Research published in the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry has shown that vitamin A overload can reduce the liver's ability to metabolize fats by up to 30%. This means that even if you're doing everything right, eating a balanced diet and exercising, your body simply cannot process fats efficiently. It's like driving a car with the handbrake on. You may still move, but with much more effort and spending much more fuel. Excess vitamin A also interferes with the production of thyroid hormones, especially T3, which is crucial for an accelerated metabolism. When T3 levels drop, your metabolism slows dramatically. A study conducted at the University of São Paulo showed that people with excess vitamin A had, on average, a 20% reduction in the production of active T3. This directly translates into more difficulty losing weight even with diet and exercise. If you've ever felt like you were doing everything right, but your body simply wasn't responding, excess vitamin A may be the hidden culprit. You may be wondering, how do I know if I am consuming too much vitamin A? The truth is that it is more common than you think. If you take multivitamin supplements, consume cod liver oil, or use skin creams with retinol regularly, the chances are high. In addition, certain foods are extremely rich in vitamin A, such as beef liver, carrots, sweet potatoes, and dark leafy vegetables. Although it is difficult to reach toxic levels from food alone, the combination of a diet rich in vitamin A with supplements can easily lead to excess. And remember, since vitamin A is fat-soluble, it accumulates over time, so even slightly higher than recommended doses, if taken continuously, can lead to problems. How can you solve this? First, if you suspect that you are consuming too much vitamin A, talk to your doctor about the possibility of a blood test to check your levels. The recommended daily dose of vitamin A for adults is approximately 700 to 900 micrograms, but many supplements contain much more than that. If you are taking supplements, check the label and make sure you are not exceeding this amount. If you regularly consume foods very rich in vitamin A, such as liver, consider reducing the frequency. And if you use skin products with retinol, remember that part of this compound is absorbed through the skin and enters the bloodstream. An important point to highlight is that the symptoms of excess vitamin A usually disappear when you normalize your intake. However, this may take some time, as the body needs to eliminate the accumulated excess. During this period, it is essential to stay well hydrated to help your body eliminate toxins. Increasing the consumption of foods rich in antioxidants can also help fight the negative effects of excess vitamin A on the cells. And of course, do not abruptly stop using any supplement without medical guidance, especially if it was prescribed to treat a specific condition. There are also strategies you can adopt to minimize the effects of excess vitamin A on your weight loss process. Low-impact exercises such as swimming or cycling can be good alternatives if you are experiencing leg pain. These exercises help keep your body moving without overloading already compromised joints. In addition, investing in foods that support liver health, such as artichokes, lemon, and cruciferous vegetables, can help your body process and eliminate excess vitamin A more quickly. Another tip is to increase the consumption of foods rich in omega-3, such as cold water fish, flaxseed, and chia, which have anti-inflammatory properties and can help reduce muscle and joint pain. So, shall we move on to the next vitamin that may be blocking your weight loss? But it looks like you still haven't liked this video. If this information about vitamin A is already making sense to you, don't forget to like the video right now, okay? This makes all the difference for our channel to continue growing and reaching more people who, just like you, deserve to know these secrets that few professionals share. One aspect often overlooked is how excess vitamin A can affect your sleep. When you have leg pain, it is natural for your sleep to be more restless and less restorative. Poor quality sleep is directly linked to weight gain because it increases the production of ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and reduces leptin, the satiety hormone. In addition, when you do not sleep well, your body produces more cortisol, which, as we have already mentioned, promotes abdominal fat accumulation. Therefore, solving the problem of excess vitamin A will not only relieve leg pain, but also improve the quality of your sleep, creating a more favorable hormonal environment for weight loss. Now, let's talk about the second vitamin that may be blocking your weight loss and harming your legs. Vitamin D. Surprising, isn't it? Vitamin D has been widely promoted as the miracle vitamin in recent years, with benefits ranging from strengthening the immune system to preventing depression. And yes, vitamin D is extremely important for health. It plays a crucial role in calcium absorption, bone and muscle health, and has positive effects on mood and the immune system. However, just like vitamin A, when consumed in excess, vitamin D can become a real saboteur of your weight loss. Vitamin D is also a fat-soluble vitamin, which means it is stored in adipose tissue and is not easily eliminated by the body. When you consume more vitamin D than your body needs, whether through supplements or excessive sun exposure, the excess begins to accumulate. And that's when problems begin, especially for your legs and your weight loss process. The main problem with excess vitamin D is that it leads to hypercalcemia, that is, elevated calcium levels in the blood. Vitamin D increases calcium absorption in the intestine and, when in excess, can make you absorb more calcium than your body can properly use. The hypercalcemia caused by excess vitamin D can manifest in several ways, but the symptoms that directly affect your legs include intense muscle pain, weakness, frequent cramps, and even joint stiffness. Have you ever felt that heavy leg sensation, as if you were carrying weights on your ankles, or woken up in the middle of the night with painful cramps in your calves? These may be signs that your vitamin D levels are too high. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that people with excessively high levels of vitamin D were 45% more likely to report chronic leg pain compared to those with normal levels. But how exactly does this affect your weight loss? The excess calcium in the blood caused by vitamin D at very high levels begins to deposit in soft tissues, including blood vessels, kidneys, and muscles. This abnormal calcification interferes with the normal function of these tissues. In the case of muscles, calcification significantly reduces their ability to contract and relax, decreasing their efficiency during exercise. This means that even if you are pushing yourself at the gym, your muscles are not working at their full potential, which reduces calorie expenditure and consequently makes weight loss more difficult. In addition, hypercalcemia directly affects your metabolism. Excess calcium interferes with cellular signaling related to insulin sensitivity. When your cells become less sensitive to insulin, your body produces more of this hormone to compensate. And excess insulin in the blood is one of the main factors that promote fat storage, especially in the abdominal region. A study conducted by the Federal University of Rio Grande do Sul demonstrated that individuals with hypercalcemia induced by excess vitamin D had up to a 25% reduction in insulin sensitivity, which directly translated into greater difficulty losing weight, even when following restrictive diets. Another concerning aspect is how excess vitamin D affects your kidneys. The kidneys are responsible for filtering the blood and eliminating toxins from the body. When overloaded with the extra work of processing excess calcium, the kidneys do not function optimally. This can lead to fluid retention, swelling, and increased blood pressure. Swelling is particularly problematic for the legs, as gravity causes the retained fluid to accumulate in this region. Have you noticed that your legs seem more swollen at the end of the day and your shoes feel tight? This may be a sign that your kidneys are overloaded due to excess vitamin D. Compromised kidney health also directly affects your metabolism and your ability to lose weight. When the kidneys are not working properly, your body retains more sodium, which leads to greater water retention. This swelling not only increases your weight on the scale, but can also mask your true results, making you think your diet is not working, when in fact, you may be losing fat but retaining fluids. In addition, compromised kidneys cannot fully activate vitamin D, creating a vicious cycle in which your body continues signaling the need for more vitamin D even when there is already excess circulating. A crucial point that needs to be addressed is how excess vitamin D can affect the absorption and use of other essential nutrients for healthy weight loss. Vitamin D at very high levels can interfere with the absorption of magnesium, a mineral essential for more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including those related to energy metabolism. When your body is deficient in magnesium, your metabolism slows down significantly. In addition, magnesium is essential for proper muscle function, and its deficiency can further worsen the pain and weakness in the legs caused by excess vitamin D. You may be wondering, how do I know if I am consuming too much vitamin D? Although it is rare to reach toxic levels only through sun exposure or food, the indiscriminate use of supplements has made excess vitamin D increasingly common. If you take vitamin D supplements regularly, especially in doses above 4,000 IU per day without medical supervision, you may be at risk. Symptoms such as extreme fatigue, nausea, constipation, frequent urination, in addition to the leg pain already mentioned, may indicate excessive levels. The only definitive way to know is through a specific blood test that measures 25-hydroxyvitamin D levels. What should you do if you suspect you have excess vitamin D? First, do not abruptly stop using any supplement without medical guidance. Consult a health professional to carry out the necessary tests. If the excess is confirmed, your doctor will likely recommend reducing or temporarily suspending supplements, as well as increasing water intake to help your kidneys eliminate the excess. In more severe cases, specific medication may be necessary to reduce calcium levels in the blood. During this period, it is important to avoid foods very rich in calcium, such as dairy products, and also limit sun exposure. There are some strategies that can help minimize the effects of excess vitamin D on your weight loss process while you normalize your levels. First, focus on low-impact exercises that do not overload your already compromised legs, such as swimming or water exercises. Water offers resistance without impact, allowing you to exercise efficiently even with muscle pain. In addition, increase the consumption of foods rich in potassium, such as bananas, avocados, and leafy green vegetables, as potassium helps balance calcium levels in the body. Adequate water intake is also essential to help your kidneys eliminate excess calcium. An important tip for those facing leg pain due to excess vitamin D is to use cold compresses. Cold has an anti-inflammatory effect and can temporarily relieve discomfort. Alternating with warm compresses can improve circulation in the affected area, helping eliminate calcium deposited in the tissues. Gentle massages can also be beneficial as long as they are performed by qualified professionals who understand your condition. And remember, during this recovery period, it is normal for your weight loss process to be a little slower, but as your vitamin D levels normalize, your metabolism will return to functioning properly. Now that you already know the two vitamins that may be sabotaging your weight loss efforts and harming your legs, let's talk about how to find the ideal balance. Both vitamin A and vitamin D are essential for the proper functioning of the body, but as we have seen, excess can cause serious problems. The key is to find the right dose for your body, and this dose can vary significantly from person to person, depending on factors such as age, weight, pre-existing health conditions, and even genetics. That is why medical supervision is essential when it comes to vitamin supplementation. Some recent research has shown that personalized supplementation, based on regular blood tests, is much more effective and safer than following generic recommendations. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition demonstrated that people who adjusted their supplement doses based on regular tests were 70% less likely to develop problems related to excess fat-soluble vitamins. In addition, these people also showed better results in terms of weight loss and overall health compared to those who followed standardized protocols. It is important to highlight that even if you are taking the recommended dose of vitamin A and D, the combination with certain medications can increase the risk of toxicity. Anticonvulsants, certain antibiotics, cholesterol medications, and some acne treatments can interfere with the metabolism of these vitamins, raising their levels in the blood. If you use any medication, it is essential to inform your doctor before starting any supplementation. An interesting fact is that according to the Brazilian Society of Endocrinology and Metabolism, about 30% of cases of toxicity from fat-soluble vitamins are related to drug interactions and not necessarily to excessive supplement doses. Another frequently overlooked aspect is how the condition of your liver and kidneys affects the processing of these vitamins. If you have any liver or kidney impairment, even doses considered safe for the general population can accumulate in your body and cause problems. Conditions such as fatty liver, common in overweight individuals, can significantly reduce the liver's ability to process fat-soluble vitamins. Likewise, impaired kidney function can make it difficult to eliminate the metabolites of these vitamins. Therefore, before starting any supplementation, it is important to check the health of these organs. Now let's talk about how to use this information to your advantage to unlock your weight loss. First, if you are taking vitamin A or D supplements, consider taking a break of a few weeks, always under medical supervision, to see how your body responds. Many people report a significant improvement in muscle pain and a breakthrough in the weight loss process after normalizing their levels of these vitamins. Second, invest in natural sources of these vitamins, which generally provide safer amounts and informs that your body can regulate more effectively. For vitamin A, good natural sources include carrots, sweet potatoes, mangoes, spinach, and other orange and dark leafy green vegetables. These foods contain beta-carotene, a precursor of vitamin A that the body converts as needed, reducing the risk of toxicity. For vitamin D, moderate sun exposure, preferably in the early morning or late afternoon, for about 15 to 20 minutes a day is generally sufficient to maintain adequate levels. Foods such as fatty fish, egg yolks, and mushrooms can also contribute, although in smaller amounts. A balanced approach to health and weight loss should always consider the body as a whole. Instead of focusing only on isolated vitamins, think about complete nutrition. A diet rich in whole foods, with a variety of fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats, generally provides all the vitamins and minerals you need in the right proportions. Combine this with regular physical activity, good hydration, and quality sleep, and you will be creating the ideal environment for healthy and sustainable weight loss without the obstacles caused by vitamin excess. Now, I want to propose a challenge for you who made it this far. For the next 7 days, completely avoid any vitamin A and D supplements and observe how your body responds. Pay special attention to how your legs feel, whether the pain decreases, if you have more energy to move, and of course, if the scale finally starts to show results. This challenge may be the turning point in your weight loss journey. If you accept this challenge, leave the phrase, "I accept the 7-day challenge" in the comments so I know you are committed to your health and weight loss. To conclude, remember that more is not always better when it comes to nutrition. Vitamins A and D are essential for your health, but in excess, they can become true saboteurs of your weight loss and cause serious problems for your legs. Listen to your body, observe the signs it gives, and seek professional guidance whenever necessary. Balance is the key to unlocking your metabolism and achieving your weight loss goals in a healthy and lasting way. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to leave your like, share it with someone who can benefit from this information, and subscribe to the channel for more content that can transform your health and your weight loss process.